Attention, everyone. This is an emergency broadcast. The unpleasant noise you are about to hear coming from your radio is not a mistake. Please do not turn off your radio, but turn up the volume on your receiver as high as it can go so that you can make the sound we broadcast as loud as possible.
Positively Horrid, your horror movie review show with a morbid affection for the macabre. I am your Santa Claus Dark Shadow, Will Liam, and joined by me always...
what should I be this week?
Loving grandmother.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, hey, look at that.
Don't want to be anybody else.
No, that's fair. I don't really want to... A mischievous elf.
There we go.
Yeah, mischievous elf. Amanda Lane Olsen.
And tonight's review is 2015's The Krampus. Now, this is a movie that we've seen before, and we both love very much.
We watch it every year now.
It's kind of one of those movies that made us want to start this, because it's fun. It knows exactly what it's doing, and I think that can be tough for a movie to do. It walks this line of being very funny, but still being a horror movie.
It's so good.
And because, like we've talked about it, if it was any funnier...
And it would not be a horror movie at that point.
Into
it would definitely
a scary
be like a
movie
satire
style.
comedy kind of thing, which, admittedly... I thought that it was going to be that style of movie when I first went to see it in the theaters, just because of the comedic cast.
Yeah, now I can't. I know Adam Scott's in it. Aunt Dorothy's not Kathy Bates.
No.
I always thought that was Kathy Bates.
No, that's not Kathy Bates.
But Allison Tomlin's on SNL.
Uh-huh.
What's his name? The dad from her husband is also a comedic actor.
Yeah.
David Koechner.
Yes.
So yeah,
I see him in a bunch of stuff. And yeah, of course, Adam Scott. And I mean, with that cast, I mean, I always, when the movie was first coming out, I saw the cast and I saw the trailer, and I thought for sure that it was going to be one of those things that framed it like it was going to be really spooky, but was actually going to be a satire horror movie because of these amazing comedic actors that were in it. And I sat down in the theater with my friends and watched it, and it was humorous, but it was definitely not what I was expecting. It was a full-on, full-blown, actual horror movie with some really great comedic elements.
Yeah. So the movie opens with a montage of Christmas shoppers going crazy, people getting tased.
I love this scene so much.
Just like your standard Black Friday chaos sort of stuff.
And to the soundtrack of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, which is ideal.
Yeah, so your basic goofing on how Christmas is material and lost its meaning, and so then I think we cut right to Max.
Well, yeah, because part of the montage is Max and the rest of the kids who are in the nativity play this thing. And Max and the guy the kid who was playing Joseph, I guess, are in a fist fight on stage.
But in Max's defense, I guess the kid was trying to... Max loves Christmas. And he's our main character. He's like a 14...
Probably, yeah.
...ish year old boy.
And he was getting upset at his classmate because he was ruining Santa Claus for all the little kids.
That's right.
And he didn't want Christmas to be ruined for the kids, and also because he kind of sort of also still believed in Santa Claus himself.
Yes.
And so they get to the house, and it explains, that situation. And Adam Scott's character, what's his character's name? Tom. That's what it is.
Dad.
Yeah. Tom's mother, Omi.
Yes.
who is the grandma, German, she is at home cooking lots of lovely Christmas desserts.
Which I guess, not that it matters, but I guess she'd be Austrian.
Is she Austrian?
That's where Krampus is from. They speak German, so it's...
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I just realized that, like, she spoke German, so I assumed she was German. But, yeah, I guess she's Austrian.
Yeah, I always thought she was German, but now that I think about it, Krampus is an Austrian
definitely
deal.
Yeah, you are correct on that. But yes, so everybody else is just sort of not about the holiday except for Max and Omi. And so they're all doing their own thing, and
it's stressful, like, oh, I have to make food, and oh, I hate the in-laws, and I don't want to deal with this.
Yep, and like,
the sister's like, I just want to leave and go make out with my boyfriend.
And the mom and the dad are fighting because he's still having to work over the Christmas break, and she was like, I thought you weren't working, and he was like, I said we're not traveling, but like, I still got to take a few calls, and like, I'm this workaholic man who's just trying to provide for his family, but it's coming across as way more bitchy than he actually is, because, setting the scene for terrible people who've lost the meaning of Christmas.
Yes.
Kind of a thing.
And Max has a letter to Santa still.
He's working on, and he's talking to Omi, who is making sure that he still writes and sends his letter to Santa, and Max asks her if she still believes in Santa Claus, which she does. She lets him know specifically that the spirit of Saint Nicholas, like, permeates throughout the season, basically. And she's my favorite character. So, yeah,
More
and
or
then...
less, the brother, David Koechner's character, who I forget his name, the brother-in-law, Howard, who's up there, your rednecky, conservative, SUV driving, gun-wielding...
Oh, it wasn't an SUV, it was a
like
fucking
Humvee,
Hummer.
That's what it was.
Named Lucinda.
Yes. Not that it matters, but he has, what, 3 daughters? 2 daughters?
3 daughters.
3 daughters that he's
and a son.
He's very, very much raised into stereotypically boy. I don't know. I feel weird now. It's not quite the...
Well, they're, like, tomboyish kinds of girls, but they have been raised to be the very, like, rough and tumble, not stereotypically feminine types of girls.
Which I guess is, like, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
like,
but... And their names are Jordan and Stevie.
That's right.
Yeah. And then the baby is Chrissy, and then they also have a son who's Howie Jr.
Who doesn't talk.
Ever.
Yeah, he's basically the kid from Bad Santa, I realized.
I've never seen Bad Santa.
Yeah, well, it's not a horror movie, so we'll never talk about it.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, they show up, and
Aunt Dorothy, who's like your typical sarcastic, kind of unpleasant older woman that just wants to drink.
And the mom's name is Sarah. Her sister's name is
Mom.
No, the aunt, Howard's wife.
Oh, Linda. Howie
Linda! There it is.
And
Thank
Sarah
you.
and Tom. Howie and Linda and Sarah and Tom.
Yes. Linda and Sarah, because of the fact that they are sisters who are very different, always have, a little bit of tension between them. So you can tell that this is one of those family gatherings that is sort of the kind of thing where nobody really wants to necessarily be there, but
doing it because you were supposed to.
Yeah.
During the holidays.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it all kind of culminates when Stevie and Jordan have stolen Max's letter to Santa.
At the dinner table.
And then read it aloud, which it's sincere and kind of sweet and a little judgmental.
Actually, I love it. It is a little bit judgmental, but I think that they threw that part in for the comedy. But basically, he wants to spend more time with his sister like they used to, because Beth is growing up and growing distant, and he wants to be able to actually, spend more time with her. And he wants his parents to be able to spend more time together because he realizes that they are sort of falling out of love, but understands that it's because of the fact that they're both working all the time and they don't get to ever see each other, and that they just miss each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also really wants to enlist Santa to give some extra help to his cousins, because he understands that they, are having some tough financial times and could use the extra help. And then there's that, judgmental comedic bit about how, Howard wishes that his daughters were boys. Generally speaking, most of what Max says is true, and he does not want anything material for the holidays. He just wants Christmas to be the way that it used to be, with a happy family all around him who are, loving each other and taking care of each other, and not letting the things that are external and causing tension to ruin the holiday. But, of course, he doesn't get that because, tensions are running high and everybody's mad at each other. Howard's making fun of Sarah's cooking and blah, blah, blah.
And so Max runs upstairs.
He gets super frustrated.
He shreds the letter and he throws it out the window. And it blows off, presumably to the North Pole.
Clouds, dark
dark
clouds just amass around the house. And then we cut to the advent calendar, which opens up the little doors to the 23rd.
And I'm trying to think, because I think somebody said something before this, and when Omi tells her story, it goes further, but while we were watching the movie, came across this theory I like, that I think the Krampus is Santa Claus. I think it's, Santa has his spirit, and it's the good side of the holiday, and then when things get tipped too far, he, Hulk transforms into this, mutated, twisted Santa, because obviously this movie has him look like a monster Santa.
Basically, yeah.
Which, when he shows up, I guess we could speak to more. But I they're the same person, I think. Like a Chernabog, Beelzebub from American Gods thing. And so when things are bad and he's upset, he's Krampus, and when things are good, he's Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those interesting theories that, I definitely think that they come from the same spirit. I'm not necessarily sure that they are the exact same, but they are definitely, the two sides of the same coin kind of thing, a la what you said with Chernabog and
Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Which, not to get too far into it, but, in the end of American Gods, he is the same guy.
Yes.
He talks about his brother like he's a different person, but then when he's happy, he is Beelzebub.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing, and I really like that as an element of the season, is because when the spirit turns sour, when the spirit of the holiday turns sour, then the literal spirit with a capital S of the holiday literally turns sour and becomes this. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. And I love it. So it is the 23rd. Beth is concerned because she has not heard back from her boyfriend, and he always texts her back. And so she decides that she's gonna go out and find him. But trouble is, there was a huge snowstorm overnight that knocked out the power and the heat and the phone lines. So they are basically kind of sort of snowed in. And there's this creepy snowman with a crooked top hat in their yard, which Max notices and points out, and nobody cares about. I mean, kind of, except for Omi, but her caring about it is sort of...
Well, she knows exactly what that is.
Oh, yeah. She knows exactly what's going on, and her caring about it is sort of off-screen until it becomes center stage.
Because I think... she doesn't try to warn anybody. One, I think she knows no one would listen anyway.
Yeah.
And I also think she knows that we're all fucked now.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
Yep. All we can do is try to keep the fire hot and prevent the inevitable as long as possible. But yeah, no. So Beth.
Yeah, Beth goes down the street to boyfriend's house. I forget, there's some stuff happens at the house. Oh, presents are, delivery guy shows up with
a
cheese basket, and then there's also just this old-timey Santa sack of toys that they bring inside.
Yep, that's the DHL guy. And
you think Krampus kills him because they wouldn't deliver his toys? He's just mad?
I don't... Okay, so... when you brought up your theory about the fact that...
Oh, the pocket dimension?
Yeah. I thought that maybe he was frozen because he's an aspect of the pocket dimension.
See,
so he was not necessarily a live being.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought he was. I just kind of figured he was unfortunate collateral because
I mean,
Krampus is a monster.
That is also true, but like
this guy gets trapped when the Krampus kind of.
But like when you freeze to death, you don't freeze to death in an I'm scared face.
Well, I figured he ice blasted him or something.
I mean, that's fair, I guess, but usually you won't like be able to see that necessarily. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, if you think too hard about the specifics of the situation instead of just, this is put there to scare you.
Yeah.
It gets into...
There's a snowplow guy that's implied that he gets got, too.
Yeah, but you never see the snowplow guy's
I just think
body.
They were two people that were working in the snowstorm and had the misfortune of being in the, the vicinity of the pocket dimension.
Yeah, I guess that's
and Krampus needed him. He's not a good guy. He's not like one of those monsters with like the strictest of rules, I think.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody, like Pumpkinhead or something, which we'll get to eventually. But so he's just like, grab a couple. I don't care.
Yeah, it's collateral.
Kill him. I'm a monster.
Yeah. But yeah, so Beth is going to the boyfriend's house and she comes across the frozen DHL guy. Is really freaked. Mm-hmm. She does not even get to her boyfriend's house.
Yeah, well, she sees Krampus on the
rooftop and is freaked out and then starts to run and then he chases her and then she's screaming and nobody's responding to her and it's almost as though there's nobody even in these houses at all.
Yeah. Which either he killed them all or, like I said, they're just not there. They're in a different dimension now.
Yeah. Which I believe is the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm running with,
perfectly,
too.
Yeah.
Although, we assume boyfriend, because something attacked the house.
Something did attack his house.
But you know what? He was kind of part of the mix.
He was.
So he had to get got, too.
Yep.
Because later...
He was the one who wanted to just chill and smoke weed instead of spending time with his family out of his fucking snowman bong.
So she hides into the DHL truck. A Jack-in-the-Box gets dropped and then goes off. We don't see it, but you get a Jurassic Park type car death where it just shakes and you hear the screaming and cut away. And then back to the house. Max is like, Beth's been gone for a while. It's getting dark. Finally, they're very hesitant to go out and do something about it.
Yeah, because they're like, it's fine. She's at her boyfriend's house. We haven't heard from her at all, but no news is good news, right?
So finally, Tom convinces Howard to go out in Lucinda and go get his daughter back. And on their way, they come across the snowplow. And
it looks as though something crashed in through the windshield.
Yeah.
Snowplow guy's nowhere to be found, and the keys are still in the ignition. So, something is up here, and they're very concerned about it.
So they book it to boyfriend's house, and that's when they find,
they come across this, frosty scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole house is filled, as a nice dusting of snow. The chimney is
busted.
Ripped open, yeah, which Howard says looks like a gas leak, which, to be fair, kind of did.
Yep.
There's a gingerbread man stabbed into the wall, which is, so at least we learn later that means boyfriend fought back.
Yep.
Giant hoof prints. And I think that's it. But everybody's
more
reasonably
or less, but they're
freaked.
like, what the hell even is this thing? I've never seen hoof prints this large, and I've hunted a lot of game in my day.
I think they just go back.
They do.
At that point.
And they're freaked.
Yeah.
But they're like, Beth is missing. Nobody was at the house. We came across this
they
really
get attacked.
weird scene. Oh, they did. Oh, yeah.
Because Lucinda
in
gets
the
wrecked
snow.
too.
Yeah. And Howie gets... No, not Howie. Howard.
Yeah.
Gets attacked in the snow by that whatever thing is lurking underneath.
Which I think is I assume it's the little Jack-in-the-Box that killed Beth. Is what's tunneling. That's what I could be wrong, but I figured that was.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
He was kind of Tremor
I just
style.
always I just always assumed that it was just like
Something
else that you just never see.
I did too until I
noticed
noticed
snow.
that I think the Jack-in-the-Box that kills Beth makes a similar scream to this snow worm or whatever.
Oh, it does. You're right.
So I
didn't even notice that. Yeah. No,
just...
I think you're correct with that. Either way, there is a beast in the snow that is all slithery and bites Howard in the leg, and they try to get
Tom
back.
saves him.
Yes.
Because then that's how he likes him after that.
Mm-hmm. And they get back to the truck, and it's no longer there because it has been completely decimated.
Yep.
So they scuttle on back to the house. Everybody's in, and they're like, I don't know, they've been gone a long time. Maybe we should go out and look for them. And then they burst through the door, and we're like, guys, there is something fucked going on in this neighborhood.
Yeah. I think the serial killer is a going trend, especially after... Does a Beth Snowman show up first?
Yes.
I remember like the Howie Jr., but yeah, so I guess there's another snowman.
Yeah.
I think that everybody's freaking out. They're talking about going, but Lucinda's gone, so they can't. And that's, I believe, when Omi's like, I know what's happening.
Well, she doesn't say that quite yet. Not until after Howie Jr. gets taken.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so they decide to wall up.
But she does say, like, I'm keeping the fire hot.
Yes.
And so when they're
making
all
hot
like...
chocolate.
Yeah. When Sarah is all like, get Omi out of the fireplace, she's like, oh, no, I'm not getting out of the fireplace. I am keeping this fire stoked to keep us safe.
They decide to castle up until the snowstorm stops.
Yep. And then there are some really nice heartfelt moments where all of the family members sort of appreciate each other's strengths, as well as, like, acknowledge some of their hardships. And you get some really touching moments between Tom and Howard about their different ways of trying to, care for and protect their families. And a really, really nice sister moment between Sarah and Linda about, like, their mother's belongings, like the way that they also, provide for their families. They have their little tablet, and they watch it while they still have battery to, keep themselves comforted. And Howard decides to take watch. Everybody's sort of fallen asleep, and the tablet is on Christmas music and is playing Silent Night when the battery dies and the fire goes cold.
So, in the dumbest thing ever, a gross horror hook comes down the chimney attached to a chain with a gingerbread man on it and kind of jingles.
Howie Jr. wakes up
and just goes over and grabs it. Like the dumbest person ever. And I still think that there was a discussion on the roof between Krampus and an elf where they were like, this is the dumbest idea. And he's like, no, I'm going to get one. Watch. And he does. So he takes a bite out of the gingerbread man. This is where I'm torn, because I agree they look stupid, and they're a little too cartoony, and they hurt more than they help. I do like when he takes a bite out of it, like as a joke, the first thing the gingerbread man does is like freak out like he's in pain. And I thought that, I appreciate that. They have a good little sense of humor that I like.
Yes.
And then he wraps up Howie Jr. and starts pulling him up the chimney. And that is when, I think...
Everybody wakes up.
Yeah, everybody wakes up.
Everybody freaks out.
Grabs him first. And they make a chain of people trying to hold Howie Jr.
And while Sarah is halfway up the chimney with Howie, she kicks a log that is still, a little bit embery out of the fireplace. The tree catches on fire.
It's a safety hazard, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta properly water your tree, otherwise it'll just go up like that. Like, you gotta, if you have a real Christmas tree, let's be real for a second, if you have a real Christmas tree, you have to water that thing every fucking day, and make sure that there is a decent amount of water in the stand for it so that it can stay watered and not be a fucking fire hazard.
See, that's why I like the way that the Swedes do it, and that they just take actual candles and put them in their Christmas tree, because if you're gonna have a giant fire hazard, why not say fuck it and live dangerously?
Admittedly, I do like the aesthetic of that, but...
Yeah, it's real dumb.
Yeah. Anyhow, so fire hazard tree just lights the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah does not get pulled up with Howie Jr., but Howie Jr. does get pulled up the damn chimney, and that is the second of the child
kids,
murders. Yeah. And at that point, Omi tells her story, because she has seen it happen, she knows what's going on. Everyone in the room is just sort of like in this moment that they are, most primed to actually believe her story. And so then we have this
cut to this really cool
animated scene.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent. I mean, it's cartoon, it's not like claymation, but it reminds me a lot of like the Hellboy story or the Three Brothers story from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
about the
where
horror
it's like that neat sort of, like, it looks like it's...
Yeah, it's very stylized and almost cell-shaded. It's
beautiful. But something that I did notice watching through it this first time... Well, not this first... this time that I missed the first couple times I watched it, is that the same snowman that showed up first at the beginning of the first day is right outside of Omi's town when she opens the story.
Right.
And so that is like a thing that made me think, oh shit, maybe that snowman is like the symbol of like, this is the house where Krampus is coming.
Yes. I also think, so she cuts into basically, I think it's like World War II Germany.
Probably, yeah.
And so everybody's suffering, and there's no food, and everybody's stressed, and like her parents are freaking out, and they finally like throw her teddy bear into the fire.
She throws her teddy bear into the fire because, well, they like rip it.
Right.
And she gives up on the spirit of Christmas because she and her family are all miserable and everything is terrible, and that is the thing that calls Krampus, is that she puts her teddy into the fire, and then the ashes from that, the little embers, go up and do the same thing that the letter pieces did, and that called Krampus there.
And she also calls Krampus St. Nicholas's shadow.
Yes.
Which is what strengthened my same guy theory. I think that snowman was specifically someone... I don't know.
Because it's the same snowman. It had the same.
It is.
It had the same cricket hat.
It definitely is the same snowman, but I really think it's not like the same snowman he drops every time. I think it was very specifically the one he used that time, and then he knew Omi was here.
So he used the same snowman?
He used the same one just to be like, I remember you.
Oh, shit.
Because he, after he takes everyone in her house, he leaves her a little Christmas bell that says Krampus. And I guess so whoever summoned him gets a pass.
Yeah. As a, this is what happens when the spirit of the holiday dies.
Yeah. Kind
of thing. And when hope no longer exists.
And probably
and when you have forgotten the sacrifice of the season, kind of thing.
And probably to keep his own spirit alive.
Yeah.
He's got to leave somebody. American God style.
You got to leave somebody to tell his story.
To believe in him.
Yeah.
So yeah, she tells the story. They're all kind of like, everybody but Max, I think. Tom believes her a little bit, maybe.
Oh, I think Tom believes her because, like, that's his mom.
Yeah.
And she's always been weird around the holidays, and he's never known why. But even if it's not, like, 100% a thing, like, in her mind it is, I think, is what he's feeling.
Yeah.
So, like, even if it's not, like, real, it's real to her, and so he, like... feels that. But of course Howard is just like, that's a crock of ball. After that
that's when he busts out the front door with his shotgun. There's a Howie Jr. snowman, and then the elves are behind the snowman kind of giggling and running around in the shadows, and he shoots at them. And then
is that what happens then, or is that what happens later after? Because I mean, like, the girls go upstairs and it's like a calm.
I thought because
thing
that's what kept him from. Because originally he was like, no, I'm going to go out and save my son.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then I think he sees that and he's like, oh, this is not normal.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's true.
Because that's when things kind of calm down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that's, the girls go upstairs, they hear Beth.
Or at least they think they hear
creepy
Beth.
Predator version of Beth.
Yeah. Being like, come upstairs, I've been waiting for you guys.
Want some candy?
Aunt Dorothy is holding Chrissy in the living room with the fire, and Omi has the fire stoked up again and is tending to it, and Max is there. Oh, then they start hearing things.
Yeah, because it gets real chaotic. I know the girls scream, some of them go upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was this weird thing where Linda was trying to, like, rewrap the gifts.
Yeah.
And they ended up in the attic, because the gifts she was trying to rewrap, like, they did that, like, shaky, giggly thing, and then it turns out that those particular gifts were the ones that were in the Krampus bag, and the evil toys burst forth from them and attacked the girls upstairs.
Yes.
But yeah, so they hear a whole bunch of noise up in the attic, and they're like, where are the girls? And then they go and try to find them.
Because at the same time, this is when Freaky Angel comes to life and the cookies come to life.
Yes.
So that's why I'm losing track of... This is all... Everybody gets attacked.
Everybody gets attacked all at once,
so
basically.
There's... Up in the attic, I think, is Tom and Sarah, right?
Tom, Sarah, and Linda are all up in the attic looking for Jordan and Stevie.
And that's when they find the horrible giant worm Jack-in-the-Box with the face from, like, the trailer and everything.
Yep, and being all spooky and, like, literally eating the children.
A battle bot.
A murder bot.
Yeah, like a wind-up robot with knife hands.
Stabs people. And then there's the super gristly teddy bear with with the enormous teeth, and he's, like, drooling green, gross stuff.
And they're all puppets. None of them are CG.
It is entirely physical effects, and I love it.
Yeah, everything looks great.
It's amazing. I love the design in this.
To all the actors' credit, they handle this very well, because yes, it's horrible and scary, but also Adam Scott literally goes, "Oh my god," but not completely in horror, like,
it's just one of those things. What the fuck even is happening? What even the fuck is this? Which is honestly a completely accurate reaction, because it's like, it's terrifying, but, like, you can tell that it's like, this is kind of funny if I wasn't getting attacked and probably murdered right now.
Which is, it's that line that's so tough to walk
and they walk it beautifully.
Yes. And I love a monster with a theme and a style. I love Freddy Krueger, because he's having fun. And you can't deny that Krampus isn't he wouldn't have thematic toy killers if he wasn't having fun with this.
It's true.
He clearly loves doing his Christmas murder.
So the creepy, gross angel with the disgusting tongue is attacking Sarah, and the angel attacks Sarah, the teddy bear attacks Linda, and the robot attacks Tom.
Right.
Linda is a fucking badass and realizes that this is all happening at the same time that her daughters are being attacked and eaten by this disgusting monster slug Jack-in-the-Box. And so she gets, like, super mama bear rage, throws the bear off of her, goes at the Jack-in-the-Box monster with a fucking axe, and is like, "That's my daughter!" Blah, 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 and is just the most badass mama
and it
ever.
Runs away.
And it runs away and gets stuck in the vent system. Meanwhile, the angel has taken some strands of Christmas lights and is literally hanging and trying to choke Sarah. Linda comes back with the axe and chops her free. Then Sarah picks up Linda's gun, which Tom has dropped, and fucking shoots the robot that's attacking him. and they share this cute little moment of like, damn, I didn't realize you were that badass. Holy shit. And she's just like, yeah, I know. And it's great. So they all go downstairs at that point. So we're going to stop there and then talk about what's happening to Howard at the same time.
Which is probably my least favorite part.
It really is. It's so kind of, it's dorky.
It is. So he's in the kitchen and the aforementioned gingerbread people come to life and start attacking him. They are not practical effects. They are CG, which they don't look terrible. They don't look great.
They're still kind of goofy though.
Yeah, they're very cartoony.
They're the only thing that does not tread that line between horror and comedy really
dips
well.
full into comedy.
It dipped a little too far into comedy for my liking.
And like they're
personally.
shooting them with a nail gun that they're operating with like 3 of them. You know, tiny small soldier style. I guess is the best example.
Yeah, and he
shoots some. He sets them on fire.
Yeah, and then one is like coming at him with like a candy cane shiv.
Yeah.
Rosie the dog
eats it
out of midair.
Very silly, very scary movie style.
Yeah. Something that I think is worth noting now that we've brought like Rosie into this is that Howard's possessions are the only things that have female names. Because his truck is Lucinda and his dog is Rosie.
And his gun doesn't have a name, but I bet it's got a girl name.
I bet it's got a girl name. But his daughters are Stevie, Jordan, and Chrissy. Which are all boyish names.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's just an interesting thought that, like, helps you understand him as a character a little bit, I think. But yeah, so those both happen at the same time, and then they converge after...
Yeah, the angel comes back.
Yeah.
But how does it come through the... I don't remember I thought it came off the tree.
It didn't come... Well, it might have. But, like, the bear comes back, too.
Yeah. I just remember the angel swooping down from the tree. But if it was in the attic, I don't remember when it... Well,
I mean, both the angel and the bear had to come down from the attic at some point in
time.
Yeah,
I guess maybe it set itself back up and was like, this is going to be great.
Yeah, because Aunt Dorothy... Okay, so basically, all the things are attacking them all together in the living room again. Aunt Dorothy shoots the teddy bear in the fucking skull. It just splats a bunch of, like, green goop on the wall. The angel is being terrible again, and with its long, gross tongue, and just overall nastiness. And that also gets shot into the holiday wreath that was hanging over the fireplace.
Yes.
And it's like that cute little picture for a minute. And then it falls back down. Max lets Rosie up into the vent systems.
In the dumbest move ever.
To go after a
horrible monster that is 18 times the size of that dog.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know how that dog, like, the first time it hits a vertical vent, it'd be like, I'm stuck here.
I don't know. Oh, but one of the things that we forgot is that Jordan, was it Jordan that got eaten?
I don't know
Stevie
the difference.
that...
One of them is still up in the attic and
all gross and covered with goop.
Yes.
But one of them has been eaten and is no longer.
Well, no, she's inside the puppet still because it falls through the ceiling.
Yeah, but she's gone.
No, she doesn't come back. I'm saying, but she's... Because they try to grab the Jack-in-the-Box still when it falls through, and that's when the elves show up.
Yeah.
Who are just great.
I loved those elves.
They look like little nightmare versions of the masquerade guests from Labyrinth.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize until this watch through how similar this movie is to Labyrinth.
Yeah,
because he more or less, not directly word for word, but by his actions wishes for the Goblin King to come take his family away.
Yeah.
And he done do it. Just it's not Jennifer Connelly, so it's a lot more horrible.
Yeah, and instead of a magic peach, it's that creepy bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you got a point. But yeah, so the elves break into the living room.
Just kind of cackle.
A lot.
They're having fun.
They take the baby away.
Yes, they do. They grab it.
They do not hurt the baby. They just carry her off out the window, which I thought was interesting.
Well, I think that's where more
elves come
from. Yeah,
is that they take the smallest children
to the frozen Feywilds.
Yeah, and they become changelings. They pull Aunt Dorothy.
Yeah, so they get...
And Howard, like, out the window.
Yep. I think it attached to the sleigh is implied.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave. Everything gets quiet. What song plays?
Up on the housetop.
That's right.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out
on like a
jumps
creepy
good
record
old
player,
Santa Claus.
which had to be one of the elves' like job while no one was looking to like set up a creepy record player because Krampus needs his entrance.
Yeah.
And
it's true.
The chimney starts to bust out.
Ho ho ho. Who wouldn't go? Ho ho ho. Who wouldn't go up on the housetop?
And then
click click click. Down through the chimney, old Saint Nick
busts out this horrible, hunched Santa Claus with horns.
Although, the rest of the family gets away first, and it's just Omi who's there for that moment.
I thought they kind of started to see it, and they were, like, running out. I could be wrong. I know, she's there for, like, his grand entrance.
Yes, yeah. I think they everything goes quiet, and they're like, we gotta go now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And then Omi's like, I'm gonna stay, and they're like, just...
No, come with us.
Just go.
And then she closes the door behind them when they all go out, and she bars it behind them. That whole up on the housetop thing happens, and she is there for the grand entrance of the Krampus.
And he has her bell, right? Or does she show it?
She has the bell.
And shows it to him.
Yes.
He gives her a little tongue action.
Gross.
And then...
But, like, he definitely, like, acknowledges her and remembers her.
Yeah.
But this is an amazing scene because, like, this is the first time... Like, you've seen the Krampus in the distance before. You've seen, like, aspects of what he looks like.
Yeah, but this is the big reveal.
But this is the big reveal of the monster, like, the big bad. And it is done so beautifully.
All practical. Again, no CG that I could tell. Sometimes they, like, use it for details, which is really what you should do anyway.
Yeah, but no, he was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so scary.
And his face, because we talk, like, everything else is so well done. Even the hands, that's something that's real hard to do with practical monsters. I always go back to the Predator. For 40 years or however many years those movies have been out, their hands still look crappy when they're like doing their little touchpad.
Yeah.
Because they're too big and they can't bend right.
Yeah.
But Krampus's hand, which means they must have done like animatronic, like they jointed them so they're like robotic.
Must be. But like they were gorgeous.
But his face is...
I think in that particular scene, the slack-jawed look to his face worked. Because you don't see the face very much.
Mm-hmm. But his face is a mask. It's a unmoving, fixed mask. And I think, and this is just because it goes with my theory, and so I like it, is supposed... And the fact that they put so much detail into everything else, it must have been a choice, I think,
for him to wear the, like...
Yeah, the Santa mask. Which could just be him, choosing a mask to wear, or I think it's because that's Santa's face, but it's like because he transforms into the Krampus, and so it's like I don't know, like it's just
like
that
way. Like ugly slack jawed, like spooky, like bearded, horrifying face with the deep sunken eyes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah.
What I'm running with.
So...
Yeah, they get their plans to get to the snowplow. They're running through the snow. Snowworm is back.
And...
Shrieking through the banks.
Mm-hmm. And Tom is like, go, guys, go. I have the gun. I'll hold it off. You guys just get to the snowplow. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, wait, what? No. And then he's like, no, really, you have to go. This is the only way that you'll have a chance of getting away. And so, tearful goodbyes, very quickly so that he doesn't get eaten by the worm right then and there. Mm-hmm. But they all run away in the direction of the snowplow, and he shoots at the thing until he runs out of bullets. Mm-hmm. And then just, in this beautiful moment, just closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and accepts his fate, knowing that he's done everything he can to protect his family, and just gets pulled under the snow.
Yep. So, and the same, like, the mom saves a bunch of kids, pushes them into the truck. She gets got. I think it's...
Well, Linda gets got first.
That's right.
and is like desperately trying to hold on to her sister, and is like, Stevie, you go with your aunt. Go with your aunt. Leave me here. Like, be safe. Take care of Max. Like, go. And she gets pulled under. Sarah helps Max get into the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes that she's going to get pulled in and is just like, I love you, and gets pulled under.
The truck won't start. I forget what happens.
Well, the truck won't start, and they can't get it going. And then the elves...
That's right, they grab the
swarm the car. Max pushes one of the elves out, which gets slurped under the snow by the snow monster, showing that, like, you know, not even the minions of Krampus are completely...
Well, I think that,
like,
you know, it's a monster, and
it's gonna eat whatever it eats, yeah.
But basically, Max confronts the Krampus. Krampus gives him his bell.
Yeah, and the elves take Stevie away.
Yeah.
It's just, like, leaves Max standing there in the snow, a la the way that Omi was, with the bell, and just everybody just gone. And then it fades to black.
And then we're back.
I mean, like, I thought that was where the movie was going to end, but no.
And I didn't research because we don't. That's
What's research?
But that was, I think, the original ending.
Yeah?
Or at least, I know the ending was different. It either ends there or ends with, like... Because I guess there's no way they would have cut out the whole thing after this. Because it would have been so much work.
No way.
So maybe it's the part with the which we'll get to, the kind of... the shocking twist. But, yeah, I guess that can't be right. Because there's so much work.
There is so much that happened. I think it was intended to be a false ending.
But I know there is a different ending.
There is?
Yeah, like a shorter ending.
Huh.
So
I mean, we'll have to look it up, I guess.
Before
we get into the autopsy, we'll have to look it up.
But yeah, Max goes to confront the Krampus. I guess.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that point, I want to point out the sound design just for a minute. In that scene where all of the parents are dying, Silent Night is playing in the background again. But it's not like the vocal version. It is just like this really somber, sad instrumental. And so much action is happening that you almost can't even hear what it is until they're all gone and pulled under the snow. And then it's just like the sleep in heavenly peace. And you're just like, oh shit. It is a silent night. And everybody just... It was so good. The sound in this movie is so amazing, and the soundtrack is so good. Anyhow, yeah, back to the next scene. So after that, fade to black.
So Max comes across this, like, pagan Muppet ritual. Just, I only say that because, like, again, everything in this scene is real. Yeah. And so there's I mean, it's like but it is very, like, pagan feeling of, like, it's all the Christmas stuff, but with none of the Christianity from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a big horror goth sleigh that almost looks like an altar that the Jack-in-the-Box looks like he's presiding over to me.
Yeah.
He's, like, waving his hands around and stuff. The sleigh is being pulled by these big, goated, woolly monsters, like almost a reindeer, but
like spookier.
Yeah.
And they're just having this like big spooky
laughing
pit
and partying.
Like, yeah. And Max is just like, "Hey, assholes! I take back my wish. I know you can fix it." And Krampus just like jumps over the pit and just looks at him. And Max is like scared shitless, but is just like, "I just want my family back. I take back my wish. I know you have the power to fix this. Now fix it."
Well, he's crying.
Yeah.
Because Krampus reaches his creepy hand up and wipes his little tear away. And you think he's moved. And then everybody starts laughing. And then they throw his sister into the pit.
It's not his sister, it's his cousin. But, like, at one point, like, Max tosses the bell away. And is like, "I don't want this." And it just melts into the snow.
Yeah.
And then they start laughing, and it's like, "Foolish mortal, you surviving was a gift.
Mm-hmm.
You questioning me, you are not worth the time, basically. You made a deal with us, and now you will fulfill that deal. And because you're being greedy, you get the same fate as everyone else.
Yes.
And of course, it portrays that completely wordlessly, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So
he
Stevie...
gets pit-tossed.
Yeah. Stevie gets tossed in, like, gets brought into this, like, hell pit. And he's like, wait, no, take me instead. Take me. Just bring back my family. Just take me. Take me. Take me. It's like, nah, it don't work that way, son. This ain't your regular horror movie. And Stevie gets thrown into the pit. And then Max also gets thrown into the pit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like hellfire and burning and spook. And then he wakes up the next day.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Uh-huh. And he does the advent calendar thing, and it's the 25th.
The lens is so thickly covered with
It's just so
petroleum
ethereal.
jelly.
I don't think it's petroleum jelly.
No,
I just think it's like one of those like glowy
It is. It's an effect they
effects.
do, but back in the day they used to do that by putting jelly on the lens.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's so glossy and dreamscape that and we talked about this, I immediately was like, well, something's up, because this is fake as hell.
I didn't realize it was fake until like he ran into Omi, and I was like, "This is unsettling."
And Omi's, because everybody else is happy. Like it's
it's like
the
your
whole
regular
family's back. They're in the
Christmas
house
morning.
Yeah,
and everybody's in their like jolly like PJs gathered around the fireplace,
and they're opening presents. Everybody's happy and joking. Omi's not. Omi's still
Omi
sad.
is handing out hot chocolate, and she says in English, "Merry Christmas, Max."
Yeah.
But, like, her eyes are all dark, and it's, like, the only thing about that whole scene that's, like, not your typical glowy, like, happy, Christmassy feel.
And
they're handing out presents, and Max gets handed a present that's, like, this cute little golden wrapped box.
Mm-hmm.
He opens it up,
and it's the Krampus bell.
Krampus bell.
And the scene just drops. Everybody's somber.
Everybody's, like,
confused,
just staring
but,
at
like,
it, and they're, like...
horrified also.
And then
I
the
think
sounds,
maybe memories
like
starting
the
to come back.
the echo of the sounds of like what actually happened is just like happening, and I'm pretty sure that that's diegetic. That's not non-diegetic. It happening within the world of the movie, not just for the sake of the viewers.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then everybody's just like looking at this bell, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
And then zoom
out, and the house is in a snow globe sitting on the Krampus's shelf as part of a collection of many, many, many snow globes.
Which I had said during the watching, I wish they were closer or I imagine that each one has like, you know, an 18th century cottage and a castle and a this and a that and a hut.
Yeah, because he's been around for centuries.
Yeah, so it'd have a bunch of different types
of homes and things, of the people that he has taken.
I bet one's a cruise ship. It'd be cool, right?
What even?
What if it's a family that does like a Christmas cruise and the whole cruise is miserable and not Christmas spirity at all and over commercial, and Krampus is like, that's enough, and he like fucks up a cruise ship.
That would be fucking
right?
weird.
It'd be cool.
I guess?
I'd watch it.
I mean, I don't know how, like, what would happen, like, how would all of, like, the snow and the, like, typical stuff go down if...
Well, that, I mean, not all cruise ships are tropical, so they could be, like, an Alaska cruise or a...
I mean, I guess, but if you're going on a cruise for Christmas, why would you go on a cruise to someplace that's not tropical?
But maybe that's what makes it, like, there's a snowstorm, so that's the first thing, and people are like...
What the fuck?
It's fucked. And then,
I don't know.
And then Krampus, when he shows up, has a Hawaiian shirt on.
Okay, I think we're taking this bit a little too far.
Nah, I like it more.
Oh, God.
Alright, let's lay this frozen corpse up on the dissection
slab.
table, the slab. Get to the autopsy.
So, yeah. So, I really loved the elements of this movie That,
I mean, I think we talked more during this one.
I think we did, for sure.
The other ones, but it's really good. The pocket dimension theory is something that I just got on board with. Other people might have said something. I mean, the director even said
that
something similar.
Basically, we did actually stop and do a little bit of research. But the director basically said that Christmas movies exist in their own little snow globe where, you know, families that are having tension always, like, make up before the holidays, and was like, what if the tensions just got completely out of hand and out of control, and the Krampus just sort of got into that little world, so...
Yeah. But it's a theory that I think I came up with that. I don't think I stole it from anybody else when I watched Blair Witch, which is something we'll cover, because I love that movie.
I still haven't seen it.
she creates a world that has very specific rules that she clearly exercises a lot of control over, and it's also it's creepy because it's very small and it's only affecting these people within it. Yeah. And it makes sense that, you know, it has certain boundaries, because if they try to leave, they just get stuck in the same place again. It's the same as this. Like, this neighborhood's empty. There's clearly no one else here. It's clearly just snow, and I bet if you tried to drive, you'd just end up coming back around from the other side.
But that's what happens, is that all of the modes of transportation stop working, so you can't even try.
So, and I think that's kind of an interesting... So, when you look, like, they never had hope.
Yeah.
Which you don't totally get until the end. We've obviously seen this movie before.
So many times.
But, like, Omi knows it.
Yeah.
That's why she never, like, freaks out that much. She's like, well, we're all dead.
Yeah. Omi knows that this is what happens when hope dies. So if you try to have hope now, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. So it's this whole thing is just for the Krampus. Like, he doesn't need ways to kill. He's just having fun. He's just doing his
he's doing his thing.
He's punishing the way he punishes.
Yes. Because you can't just stop being you. You have to be punished for your transgressions. And one of the things that I think we focused on a lot when we were watching it this time is that, like, the family did transgress a lot. But
there's really good people at heart.
They are really good people.
Which I said when we were watching, I don't think they deserve this, but that's what makes it a horror movie and not like a justice porn movie.
Yeah, is that they are still good people who are wonderful at heart and love their family.
They just fucked up a little bit with the Christmas spirit.
They lost it, and now they're gonna pay. When
the kids get taken, like, everybody steps up, everybody
bands together.
They become a family. Yeah. And I like that because it makes it tragic. It makes it horrible because these people don't deserve what's happening.
Exactly.
But, you know, Krampus is not a good person.
No.
He's a terrible monster.
Yeah, he is the shadow of Saint Nicholas. One of the things in particular that I really, really loved, and I know I've mentioned this already, but the sound design and the soundtrack in particular for this movie are so good, from the composition of the monster sounds that really just make them as terrifying as they are, to the musical choice at certain aspects, to I mean, I was doing some research, and apparently the composer incorporated elements of, you know, like we said, like the pagan into the classic Christmas carols.
Some research.
Yeah, and so it was like bells and bones and animal skin drums and chanting and whispering in different languages to just sort of give it this spooky, eerie twist on what you know, which is perfectly fit to the theme of this movie. And we could talk forever about the practical effects in this movie.
So good. They really make the movie.
Something you may not know, listeners, about Will and myself is that we are huge fans of the puppetry aspect of all things. Muppets are like our favorite thing.
Murder Muppets
are the best.
They don't come up a lot, but we'll hit all the movies they do, I'm very sure. But
I'm sure.
They do come up sometimes. It's just any creature that's 100% practical. It's not quite a person in a suit. They're usually a little smaller or more inhuman. But like everything in this movie was a murder muppet, even Krampus, because he doesn't have a humanoid quite form. He's
beastly. Much more beastly.
So I can't think of another example, but I'm sure Evil Dead has a lot of murder muppets.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll get to Evil Dead.
Okay, cool.
Would you like to hear the coroner's report?
I would love to hear the coroner's report. What do we got?
Well, we have an estimated budget of $15 million. Mm-hmm. Do you want to guess what the opening weekend was?
I'm guessing it passed that because I know I saw it opening weekend.
Well, yeah, and so if you did,
well, then everybody must have. 30 million.
No, I mean, so it did a little over 16 million. But
okay.
For an opening week, I mean, this isn't Avengers. It's a horror movie, but it made its money back, and it came out in Christmas or a little before.
It came out like.
December
on
5th.
Krampusnacht, which is amazing.
But its total gross as of January 2016 was 42 million.
Hell yeah!
So, that's a great horror movie in terms, like, financially. I mean, it's great anyway.
It's so good. It is one of my favorite movies, honestly.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 67 and the audience score at 51, which I disagree with.
I completely disagree with that.
But Metacritic, the Metascore is 49, and the user score is 7.6, which that one I think is fair.
Yeah.
I love it more, but I think for the regular moviegoer, like a 7 is a fair number.
Yeah. I think probably just the way that it was advertised, I feel like it was either too much comedy or not enough comedy for the average moviegoer.
So I think for what it is, it probably did pretty well, because it is a weird
it is amazing.
We live in a niche world, like you and I, where Krampus is a very big part of it, and everybody knows it, and they're like, oh, pagan stuff, we love it.
Yeah.
But I think for the average person, that's not how it is.
Not everybody knows about the Krampus.
For what this movie was, it did pretty well.
It did a great job. And
no, but I mean, like, financially and reception-wise.
Yeah. I mean, I know I definitely dragged a whole bunch of friends to see it because I really wanted to see it opening weekend. It was so good. I loved this movie so much and just wouldn't stop talking about it afterwards.
It's very good.
And now it's a tradition that we watch it every year on Krampusnacht.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So that was 2015's Krampus.
All right, wow.
Anyway, that's us for this evening.
And don't forget, guys, there's a lot of weirdos out there.
So we're not alone.
Bye. Don't let the Krampus get you.